Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Boozer. I'm with CUGC HQ, and I am happy to welcome you to today's CUGC Connect webinar with EG Innovations. For those of you who may not already be members of CUGC, we'd like to go ahead and encourage you to visit us online at mycugc.org. You'll find a bunch of stuff out there for you. If you're not plugged in already, you'll find local groups all over the world. We have them everywhere. So find your local group, get involved. We also have blogs, discussion forums, webinar recordings like the one from this one that we'll have today. Just lots of stuff out there for you guys to get involved with. So, all right, next slide. So we are welcoming, as I said, EG Innovations. They're going to talk to us today about their Express Cloud for Citrix services, and that is something they announced at Citrix Synergy 2019. So if you missed some of that, now is your chance to find out all about it. And before we dive in, I'm going to introduce our moderator. So if you could advance one more. Thank you. With us today is Jake Walsh. Jake is a Citrix technology advocate. He's based in the UK. He is a technology consultant and a big contributor to CUGC. He was on a user share webinar with us just last week. So we're happy to welcome him back to the webinar stage today as a moderator. Jake, would you like to say hello to everyone?
Hi everyone. Yep, just so thanks Stephanie, just to introduce myself. So yeah, working in the UK, fortunate to be a CTA as well. Kind of for me, it's mostly Zen App, Zen Desktop, Citrix Cloud, ADC, all those kind of technologies, and kind of everything in between really. So yeah, I'll be taking some of your questions and sharing those with the guys presenting today, and I hope you enjoy the webinar.
Thanks, Jake. So as he mentioned, type in your questions. You've got a question box over on the side. Type them in as you have them. I believe that the flow today is we're going to get through the presentation and the demo, and we're going to save the questions for the end. But we do want you to type in the questions as you have them so you don't forget them. And we want to make sure we get everyone's questions answered. So type those in. Also, we are recording today's session, so you will receive a link via email tomorrow to the recording, a copy of the slide deck, and a forum thread on cugc.org that you can ask more questions if you have them later. So, all right, I'm going to get to our presenters. So next slide. All right, we have with us John Worthington. He is the Director of Customer Success at EG Innovations. He has been in this game for quite some time, and he is a great friend of CUGC. We are very happy to have him on with us today. I think, John, this is your first webinar presenting with us with CUGC, so it's nice to have you on with us.
Well, thank you.
We also have Nanda Kumar. He is the Director of Solutions Engineering. And Nanda, this is your first time on a CUGC webinar, so welcome to our webinar stage to both of you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
All right, so I am going to hand things straight over to you guys to get us started. I know that everybody is very ready to hear what you guys have to say, so take it away.
All right, thank you, and welcome everyone. This is our agenda for today. I want to talk very briefly about EG Innovations in Citrix, and then we'll introduce you to a new offering called EG Express Cloud for Citrix. And then I'm going to hand the ball to Nanda, who will give us a demonstration of EG Express Cloud. And then he'll hand it back to me so I can just kind of wrap it up, take a high-level view, and we'll do some Q&A. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about EG Innovations and Citrix. EG Innovations has had a really long history with Citrix. We've been a Citrix Ready partner for well over a decade, and since 2014, Citrix has selected us to be the exclusive performance monitoring solution for Synergy and Summit. And what Citrix admins consistently tell us is that they really are looking for centralized performance visibility from a single pane of glass. And EG Enterprise has been delivering that across every Citrix and non-Citrix tier for a long time now. And this is why many Citrix admins prefer EG Enterprise for monitoring their Citrix ecosystem. Now, we were also the first native performance monitoring solution for Citrix Cloud, and we've had out-of-the-box capabilities for AWS and Azure for some time now as well. And so the bottom line is what EG Enterprise does is take measurements at every layer of every component of an end-to-end IT service. And through machine learning, we learn the norms of all measurements that we collect. And the heart of the architecture is really a embedded analytics that is based on end-to-end data flows and top-to-bottom dependencies. And it allows us to automatically isolate which layer of which component is the source of the performance issue. And today the product does this across any cloud deployment model, public, private, or hybrid, and from code to bare metal. So when we say total performance visibility, that's exactly what we mean. And so what we'd like to do today is introduce you to a new offering which we're calling EG Express Cloud for Citrix. Now, EG Express Cloud for Citrix Services is a purpose-built monitor that's delivered as a cloud service. And it's what we believe is an industry-first, fully automated, 100% SaaS-based solution for end-to-end Citrix performance monitoring and analytics. Customers can have Citrix monitoring implemented in under 15 minutes and start analyzing performance trends, anomalies, and bottlenecks for troubleshooting right away. And so this offering is really very well suited to small and medium-sized organizations who either have limited staff or no staff that can be dedicated to monitoring the performance of digital services. Now, EG Express Cloud for Citrix builds on well over a decade of experience managing the unique performance management challenges that application and desktop virtualization pose. And it's based on the proven EG Enterprise solution. It's purpose-built for Citrix environments. Customers can also easily scale the solution to the flagship EG Enterprise, which can continue to be delivered as a cloud service or can be delivered on premises as needed. So the EG Express Cloud offering has all of the Citrix-specific capabilities of EG Enterprise. So all the Citrix components are supported, including the deep visibility into the Citrix domain that Citrix admins have come to like about EG Enterprise. And you still get real user monitoring with historical logons and sessions and so on. And you also still get our in and out virtualization capability that lets you look both inside and outside the virtual machines. And of course, you still get dashboards and reports. The monitor EG Express Cloud also still leverages our auto baselining and machine learning capabilities and has analytics purpose-built for the Citrix ecosystem. What EG Express Cloud does not provide is some of the embedded APM capabilities, including our converged application and infrastructure performance monitoring that includes application-specific metrics like real user monitoring, transaction tracing, code-level correlation, and things like that. You can also do a little bit more integration with EG Enterprise as well. But other than that, EG Express is built on the exact same highly successful foundation of EG Enterprise. So that was, a little brief introduction. And I know what virtually everyone wants when we do these webinars is for people like me to stop talking and see the product. So with that, I'm going to hand the ball off to Nanda, who will give us a tour of the product. Nanda?
All right. Hey, thanks, John. Hey, guys. I'm so excited to talk about our, new EG Express Cloud offering, and that's amazing. You're going to see it. Thanks, Stephanie. I could see that you already shared the link to the audience. Hey guys, a quick thing. Before we start the demo, right, I just wanted to give you a quick walkthrough what you guys are going to do when you actually, listen to this webinar. The one thing is simple. This is where you're going to go register for this, EG Express Cloud. The moment you register, okay, you can actually see it's a 3 simple steps to get started. All right. You will have the verification code, and then you can log in. Once you log in, you're going to see these 3 simple steps. And the first step is downloading the client-side installer. Okay. So the moment you log in, you will be able to see the screen. So I would like to give you a quick background of what you, how can you get this solution, and then I'm going to move on with the demo. So once you download the agent installer, remember the 3 simple steps we are talking about: download, install, and configure, right? It's that simple. So once you download the client installer, right, and that is something going to look like this. Okay, we have enabled discovery through the Citrix delivery controller, and there is an Active Directory discovery as well, and also there is a built-in IP address discovery as well. So what it does is it will discover your Citrix infrastructure and gets the software installed automatically. So all these steps are automated. So once this is done, and this is where the fun part is going to start, right? So once this process is done, the 3 simple steps we are talking about, it's completed, you will be able to start seeing the metrics. It's that simple. So you don't have to, do a lot of things to get this level of details. Now, EG Express Cloud is an easy version of what we are talking about, our enterprise offering. So what it does is, our target is predominantly, the Citrix and the virtualization customers to get the monitoring, the performance management of the user experience, the Citrix performance, very quick and easy. So having said that, I'm going to go deep into the demonstration and explain to you how these metrics are going to be very useful and how quickly you can understand when a user is having an issue in the infrastructure. Predominantly, what we see with the Citrix is, when a user calls in compliance, they have an issue, or Citrix is having an issue. The challenge is to understand very quickly from a user experience point of view how things are performing. Hey, is this something really issue with the Citrix, or it's an issue with the network, or issue with the infrastructure, right? So we want to address that much more quickly and efficiently. Okay, so that is the reason why the moment you get this download, install, and configure completed, you will start seeing the metrics on the screen. I don't have to do anything else. Okay, so now on this screen, what we are seeing is the user experience panel. Just to make it easy for you guys, this easy version or this user experience panel essentially provides the details about the load, how many users are connecting to the infrastructure, and for that number of active sessions, how the performance is. So why we want to make this so simple with the EG Express Cloud is, one reason is we want to see the real-time metrics and also the trend, right? So we don't want to really just focus on what is happening in real time and go back into the reports and take a look at the trend and compare it, and it's a lot of work. So there's no point in calling that as a easy version of it, right? So we want to simplify all that. So what we are seeing, the first panel is the KPI, real-time and trend metrics. So the key performance indicators of the Citrix user experience, the number of active sessions, the latency, what they are seeing in the session, and the logon duration. So these 3 critical elements are part of this KPI, real-time and trend metrics. The next widget, what you are seeing there, talks about the user experience issues. Okay, we have a total of 7 user sessions right now connected, and out of which, majority of the users are experiencing latency, right? So point is, I don't want to spend too much time in understanding all this going through screen by screen. So this particular view, what you are seeing, will bring all that in this one screen and gives you the ability to understand how many users are having problems and where the problems are coming up. It's not just the latency issues alone. If the users are having experience with applications taking up a lot of resource, and if it's an ICP usage user, then you will see their percentage as well here, stating that, hey, what is going on within the infrastructure. And the next panel is talking about the user experience index. So what this index is, the industry standard is 95%. So we want our customers to stay as close as possible or even exceed that industry standard to have a great infrastructure, right? What if suppose they have a lot of issues? So our solution, what it does is it helps you to see where you are with that percentage. What is going on? How can we improve the experience to bring it close to that industry standard? Okay. At this point of time, we have a few issues in this infrastructure where you can see that the infrastructure is performing way below than the industry standard, 77%. Okay. I have a lot more exciting stuff to show to you guys in the rest of the demo, but I want to clearly go through these, panels here very quick and then move on to the details. Okay, you are also seeing what is really important for the Citrix customers or the virtualization customers are like the access tier, control tier, and then the resource tier, how it's performing. Okay, users are coming through NetScaler, storefront, and they are accessing the Citrix resources. What if suppose I have a problem right in the access layer itself, right? So access control and resource layers plays a key role, understanding, like where the problems are very quick. So if your access layer is not close to 100%, okay, that means something is going on with your NetScaler or the storefront, how the users are connecting to your Citrix infrastructure. And if I go further down, you can also see that how many users are coming through the NetScaler and the users coming through the storefront, and what is the response storefront is providing when the users are connecting to the storefront URL. So these are some of the interesting metrics there. You can see it on the screen. And then the control layer talks about the controller and what is the brokering time. And then the resource layer, which is going to provide you the details about the Zen app servers in the form and which ones are active, which ones are, having issues. And what we are seeing here, the access and control layers are really good with 100%. But the resource layer is the one I would really, take a look at. It says 67%. So this is not a static page. Keep that in mind. So whatever the data coming in here, you can drill down into it and get more details on it. So the moment I click on the 67%, it will allow us to see what's going on within that infrastructure. Okay, 2 of the 3 Zen app servers are available, and users can connect to it and launch an application or, desktops on it. But what we are seeing is one of the Citrix servers is having an issue, and it's, not available to the user. So the point is simple. It clearly gives you all the information without even we drill down into each and every layer stack of it. So there it is. Hey, it's not up and working. Simple. So far, so good. And I'm going to move on to the next level. Okay, so the home page or, the screen, what you are seeing on the user experience panel gives you the details about how the user experience, right? Now I can show you the solution. Remember what we were talking about, the analytics, the intelligence, it's still built into this EG Express Cloud. So we can go deep into the active sessions now. We can take a look at more detailed information, what is going on. So we know very well from that home page where it says, hey, we got 7 active sessions, out of which, 5 are problematic sessions and 2 are healthy sessions. So everyone will be very curious to know what is going on in detail, right? What are the users having the problems in the user session? So if we go further down, it gives you the list of users who are problematic, and also it shows the details on their user session. So it tells you the logon time, the client IP address, where they are coming from, the client name, and the duration of access, and time since last activity and the latency. So what we are seeing here is majority of these users are offshore users connecting to the Citrix infrastructure. Majority of time, what I hear from the Citrix customer is like, hey, we could see a better response when users connecting, from the office, inside the office. But remotely, when users are connecting across the country, or it is from a different country, what we are seeing is a latency, slowness. Now, what we want to make sure is this latency is coming from Citrix or network. If we can prove it to the offshore user, hey, you know what, Citrix is performing very well. It's not a problem with Citrix. The latency is not coming from Citrix. It's from your network, and it's a network latency. So just think about it. This screen, what we are seeing right now, will give you that clarity. So it tells you where your latency is. If your Citrix is causing the latency, then it will say it's a Citrix latency right here. And the numbers are going to change, and we use a simple color coding here, right? Green is good. Everyone knows it. And then orange is major, and then red is critical. Of course, anything shows up red, we got to look into it right away. And then the yellow ones are the proactive ones. So where I'm seeing right now, the users are having a network latency, and the solution is the EG Express Cloud is helping proactively the Citrix administrator to see that, hey, this is what is happening with the user sessions. So even before the user calls in compliance, you have the visibility what is causing the slowness. Now, the next thing what I'm going to show you is something which is really very, very interesting, because we can even go deep into these user sessions. I'm going to click on a user problematic user whose network latency is high, right? So the moment I click on this user, what it does is it goes deep into the user session. It also helps us to see which netscaler, which storefront the user is accessing, and what is the logon duration the user is seeing. So this session topology view is something I've seen a lot of customers are looking for, because the challenge is, hey, we want to know which netscaler or which storefront this user is connecting and how much delay they are seeing in the latency. Is it something with the logon process, or it's something after the launched application it's slow, or it's something the user is getting disconnected? A classic scenario is like, the VDA is not registered to the controller. So when they are trying to connect, they're not able to connect. So we can actually go ahead and give you all the details in this EG Express Cloud very easily. Okay. In this particular session topology, we are seeing a breakdown. Okay. Hey, the user is connecting to the netscaler, and we are seeing that once he connects to the netscaler, the storefront is there, but the logon duration is about 51 seconds, right? And you can also see that what EG does is it also gives you the breakdown, and it also tells you the session info, where the user is connecting from. Okay, it gives you the location. We are getting it from the netscaler. It gives you the details about the server he's connecting to, and the framework, and also, like the IP address where he's coming from, the client IP address, and the receiver version of it. So you get these granular details from the end user. So when we talk about a user experience, okay, these are all the critical metrics which are very important for any administrator to understand what Citrix receiver version or workspace they are using, right? And where they are coming from. Is there a delay in their network, or it's something going on with Citrix? So you can see that a clear breakdown on that latency is provided right in front of the screen. And absolutely, to make it even easier, much more simpler, we are talking about the connection strength here. So what we are saying is, hey, the user connection strength is poor. Okay, the network connection is very poor, so you are not actually getting a quick response when you send a request to access an application or publish to desktop on the Citrix side. So this is what your response is, and the breakdown here clearly tells you how much time it is taking for you to log in, and in that, how much time it is taking for the session establishment, and what are all the applications the user is accessing. Okay. Now going further down on the screen, you will also be able to see, what are all the previous outlets came for this user. So you get to know the history of this user. Hey, is this user always having the network issues, or is there something else going on with the user session? Is he accessing a resource-intensive application? We also have noticed it during the slow logon process. So we got to take a look at, hey, is this storefront overloaded, the delivery controller overloaded, or the user profile, is it too big? So you can also see right in the same window the profile size for that user, and are there any large files in the profile. If there are any large files in the profile, we'll also give you the details of those files because it takes time to load. So if a user has got 7 gig of profile, that makes a big difference, right? Compared to a user who has got a 70 meg of profile size. So that's what we are talking about when we talk about the logon duration, right? It will give you a clear understanding. And one more thing I wanted to quickly highlight on this particular screen is, very important aspect of the logon duration monitoring is the GPOs, right? Hey, what if suppose a GPO, one of the GPO is taking up time when a user is logging into Citrix, right? So we go deep into that as well, and we will show you which GPO is taking up time. More than 70% of the time when we, speak to a customer, the key challenge they have is like we have these list of GPOs, okay, which we think is taking up time. But it is very difficult for us to prove which GPOs are causing the slowness. So if we can nail it down, which ones are taking up time, it's easy for us to fix it and make the user logon process or the user experience better. So we can provide you the details about the GPOs which are taking up the time in the user logon process. Okay. All right. Let me just go further down. And you're also looking for things like, hey, remember I was talking about when the latency is coming up, one of the predominant challenges like making sure it is not Citrix and it's their client network to prove it. So right in front of the screen, it's all in the same page where you're navigating through the user experience of one particular user, gives you a complete breakdown of the user experience, right? So you can see that whether it's a Citrix latency or it's a client network latency. And what if suppose this user is actually accessing a bunch of applications in the session and it's taking up time, especially I've seen where users accessing the web applications, through Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Edge. So what we do here is we can also provide you the list of applications when a user is having an issue. And think about it, what we are talking about is all real-time metrics, and also the trend is built into the same console, so where you can compare and check, what is my real-time performance for this user compared to, what happened yesterday, and it's all possible in the same screen. And also, if you go further deep into this user session, what we are seeing is which process, which application taking up the resource. To keep it simple, what we have noticed is when users complain, especially the graphic applications, like the CAD applications. So when users are accessing these CAD applications, it takes up a lot of memory. But in reality, when we go check in the user session, they also, along with accessing the CAD applications, they also access websites, which takes up an enormous amount of CPU and memory, creating a slowness in the session. So without knowing for the administrator, what are they accessing in the Chrome or in the Firefox or in the Internet Explorer, it is a key challenge, right? So what EG does is it goes deep into this user session. It will give you the details about what are the applications taking up the CPU memory or the, Iops on the user session. And also it tells you what is their application usage, right? And if it's a Chrome or Firefox, whatever it's taking up time, it gives you the details, what websites they are using to, taking up the resource there. So this particular session topology and the rest of the information, what you noticed on this page, it's all pre-built. So the moment you get this, again, I just wanted to reiterate very quick. So once you complete this 3 simple steps, okay, and start with downloading the agent installer and doing the discovery, what you're going to see is the metrics which I showed to you on the screen without doing any further configuration or fine-tuning. So we've been looking at the active sessions alone, about the user session and then the latency and what applications are running in the user session, what is taking up the resource and all that, right? Now, when it comes to latency, like I said, it's also key, right? So what is causing this average 240 milliseconds of latency? So you can go into that. You can see again the same level of details. And now here you're seeing more than a real-time metric, the trend as well. So the trend gives you an understanding very quick. what is going on in the infrastructure. Hey, did we change any settings in the Citrix which is causing the latency for the users, or are they accessing some applications which got an update, or what is really going on? Why we are seeing a lot of latency on the user side? So you can see the trend along with the real time. Okay, active sessions versus the sessions latency trend over there. So it is talking about the number of active sessions and the latency, what you're seeing there. Now, the active sessions is the load, right? You can understand, is this the load, the number of active sessions getting increased on the server? It's got anything to do with the latency. So you can see, you can compare and check both the metrics on the same screen, on the same graph. So it gives you an understanding very quickly what is going on. And then the 1 week trend, and further down, it also talks about what is going on with the network latency and with the ICA latency, and top users with the latency. Okay, so far so good. This is all covered with the user session latency metrics. So if one particular user is having a very high latency, you can click on that user, and obviously you will be able to see where that latency is coming from. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the very important piece of it. All right, so this is all good, right? The logon duration. Of course, the logon duration, we'll also remember the GPO I was talking about. So we will also give you the details about the GPOs and, the profile load time, all that good stuff right there. The GPU processing time, how much time it is taking for the user profile to load, and of course the profile size and all that. Now, this is all really good. Okay. Hey, we got all these metrics. Now, we also know that this particular infrastructure has got a bunch of issues. So what is our recommendation? How do I actually go ahead and get this all resolved, or at least address it, right? So in the user experience issues panel, what you're seeing there is the things to tune to improve your user experience, right? The recommendation. Hey, there are bunch of alerts there, but as far as the EG Express Cloud offering, it gives you a clarity, it gives you a visibility, not just putting everything in one bucket saying, hey, go figure it, right? Which is not really helpful for any customer. So what we do is we actually provide the information in a way you can understand very quickly which alerts are impacting the user experience, which alerts are impacting the infrastructure performance, right? So if a user is having a network latency and it's impacting the user experience, I don't want to search for it among 100 different other things in the infrastructure. So what we do here is we give you a clarity. Hey, these are the two issues what you're seeing on the user, impacting the user experience, and there are a bunch of other issues which are impacting the infrastructure, like the Citrix Zen App server, which is having an issue and it's not up and running right now. We all know that, and that's the reason why the resource layer is 67% instead of 100%. So that's an infrastructure issue. So what EG Express Cloud does, it clearly filters where your user experience are impacted and where your infrastructure performance are impacted, and gives you that clarity. Okay, so the alerts are very clear, and you will have a clear visibility on where to focus with the alerts. Okay, now this is all EG Express Cloud, and now I would like to take a very quick minute and bring up something which John was talking about as well. It's the Microsoft Azure monitoring, or AWS Cloud monitoring, or even better, if you have a Citrix Cloud, it's about Citrix Cloud monitoring, right? So Microsoft Azure as such, if you notice it, okay, we can go deep into the Microsoft Azure. It's one of the component what we monitor out of the box, like close to 200 different applications. So there it is. So if you notice Microsoft Azure, I'm going to click on it, and it is going to take us into the layer model view. I'll keep it very simple here, just to make you guys understand. We go deep into the cloud side as well. So any cloud component you guys have, like AWS or Azure or Citrix, we will be able to support it. We'll be able to monitor it, and we will be able to provide you this level of rich metrics there. Again, what makes it most of the challenging task easier is the time and the process, right? How much time am I going to spend in understanding this whole process, troubleshooting? We keep it simple because we have this easy understanding layer model view. Majority of layers are green in color, and the one where the problem is happening will be either yellow, orange, or red, depending on the severity of the problem. So in this case, what we are seeing here is, hey, it's a proactive issue, and that's the reason why you're seeing at the very top of the layer, we can see we got one user deleted on the cloud, and it's a proactive alert right there. It shows up. But if you're looking for more deep monitoring metrics, like, hey, I would like to see the Azure billing details, how the billing is going on, what is the cost, okay, what is the resource used, the MTUs. So it actually gives you the details of all those, critical information you're looking for in Azure monitoring. Okay, this is what the user storage is and Azure Compute. So here's the list of virtual machines. There you go. So what is really going on in terms of resource? Okay. So it gives you all these details from the Microsoft Azure. I can go over this one by one layer, but the point is very simple. You can see there is a top to bottom correlation built in. So what it does is it helps us in a very quick way. It is telling that, hey, most of these layers, what you're seeing with the metrics, it's all normal. It's all in good state. So you don't have to worry about this. This is all perfect. So where you need to really think about, spending some time is when the colors are changing, when it is yellow, orange, and red, that's where you need to focus on. So that's a quick overview on our Microsoft Azure monitoring. With that said, I will leave it to John. John, it's all yours.
Thank you, Nanda.
Let me give you the presenter rights. There you go.
All right. Thank you, Nanda. I appreciate that. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and just I want to very quickly, just a few more slides, talk about the bigger picture, and then we want to make sure that we get some time for questions. So I'm going to just quickly go through this. And in any of these scenarios, whether it's a private cloud or legacy data centers, hybrid cloud or public cloud, there's going to be many different digital business services being delivered, and these are almost always going to include many heterogeneous components, multi-vendor devices, and suppliers. In fact, a lot of us already have this kind of mixed bag, or what some of us are calling multi-cloud environment. And this is kind of an IT view of the digital workspace. Now, of course, the customer sees things from somewhat of a different perspective. Users are going to want to log on and off throughout the day. They're going to want to run their desktop applications and access other applications. Some could be cloud native, others might be traditional data center applications. And they really don't care about multi-cloud, multi-vendor, or even whether it's a desktop or another type of application. All you're likely to hear from the user is my application is slow, right? And this is where EG Innovations comes in. So multi-cloud challenges aren't going to be limited to the desktop. Well, desktop as a service is definitely hot and going to provide benefits by converging VDI into a cloud service. There's still going to be other applications and services that exist, and regardless of your mix of desktops and application services, your ability to monitor the end user experience is rapidly becoming the basis of competitive advantage in the digital world. And what EG Innovations delivers is a consistent, correlated view of performance, regardless of what mix of deployment models you have. Remember, there's going to be a mix of desktop legacy and perhaps some cloud native applications, and the user experience really is going to be comprised of all of these. So we believe that with the introduction of EG Express Cloud for Citrix, customers can leverage whatever mix of monitoring is right for their business. They can use EG Express Cloud for Citrix standalone for smaller organizations, or combine it with other monitoring services to broaden the scope of monitoring, all the way up to the flagship EG Enterprise, which can also be delivered as either a cloud service or on premises. And the same layer models, the same analytics, and the simple user interface can be used by different roles in different organizations, regardless of the mix of private, hybrid, and public cloud services that you have. And in fact, this ability can really help you get a baseline of current performance before, during, and after a cloud migration, and that has been and remains a best practice. So again, with that, I appreciate everyone participating, and I want to, before we open up the questions, I just want to point out, I think we've already emailed you the log, the URL on the bottom, which is the free trial of EG Express Cloud. There's also an opportunity if you wanted to use our logon simulator for Citrix, and that's what the top URL is for. So with that, Jake, I'm going to open it up for questions, and I guess if it's technical, throw it over to Nanda, and if it's something else, I'll take a stab at it.
Yeah, sounds great to me. Thanks, guys. So I've got quite a few questions here, actually. So a couple of questions around, is Citrix Cloud supported? And what are the options around a multi-tenant or multi-domain environment?
Well, yes, Citrix Cloud is supported, and the multi-tenant, multi-domain, I'll throw over the wall to Nanda.
Hey, thanks, John. It's an excellent question. Yes, we support multi-domain, and also the solution is multi-tenant. So yes, we have a support for that. Fantastic.
That's awesome. I'm just having a look through some of these other questions. We've got one question here. That's where somebody says they have 400 Citrix farms. So I'm not sure what the scaling's like on the product. Is there a limit?
No, there's no limit. It's built on the same foundation as EG Enterprise.
Cool.
So,
there are a couple of questions around some of the particular items that are monitored. So one question was around when you did the drill down into the user's connection, is there an ability within the product to look at which NetScaler, for example, it's being routed through if you've got units in a HA pair or a cluster?
Yes. So when the user is connecting through a particular NetScaler, like I went through in the EG Express Cloud demonstration, we can show which NetScaler the user session is coming in and what is really going on, because it's also a part of the NetScaler monitoring we provide, so it will give you all that details on the user session.
Fantastic. And another question was around monitoring the Iops. So is that something that can be extracted and examined?
I'm sorry, Jake, could you repeat that question, please? I'm sorry.
One question was around monitoring the Iops, so the kind of the disk operations that are taking place.
Absolutely. That's one of the critical metrics what we consider along with CPU memory. Disk is very crucial to understand the Iops. So yes, we provide that metrics too.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I have to confess, I've seen it before myself, where a Citrix environment that was running absolutely perfectly from a CPU RAM perspective was basically just performing extremely badly on account of the fact that a SAN had a fault, and without Iops monitoring, we wouldn't have detected that.
So, you sound like a Citrix admin, Jake. Yeah.
One of the questions was around the version that was being demonstrated, but am I right in thinking that that there isn't really a version control in your Express Cloud product? It is a cloud, it's a SaaS offering, so it would be whatever is the the current release.
Correct.
That's correct.
Cool. And then just one other question as well was around to see the reconnect time for a user logged on. Is that a metric that you can pull out?
So today, what we provide is a metric which tells whether the user got reconnected, and we are working on getting that time as well. There is research going on in the Windows instrumentation side. If we can get that reconnect time, it's in our roadmap.
Cool. That sounds awesome. And so, what about trying this product out then? So let's say if I wanted to test it. Obviously, do I just go to the URL and how long is that trial available for?
Yeah, I can deal with that one. Yeah, the easy answer is you just go to the URL, fill out the information, you get a free trial. The free trials are 30 days.
Fantastic. And then I'm presuming it's possible to upgrade to the full version if that was deemed necessary then?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's one of the nice things about it. You could start with this, and then as you grow or as your requirements change, it's really a seamless migration to EG Enterprise, the flagship.
Oh, that's good. So even if you sort of started small and then wanted to roll it out to the full product, you could just do that in a seamless manner.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's one question as well about monitoring Zen Mobile. I don't know if that's kind of within the scope of the product, but would there be any features for that?
Yeah. So we also have a support for Zen Mobile. So there's no limitation with the EG Express Cloud. As such, like John and I was talking about, this is basically a new offering, but it is all basically whatever, we added in the enterprise, it still holds good with the EG Express Cloud. So we have a Zen Mobile monitoring, which can be part of this offering as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds really good. So in terms of gaining support then, so let's say I trial the product, I really like it and roll out into production, then find that I've got a bug or an issue. How's that supported by EG?
All customers are supported by our self-service portal and chat services. So both EG Express and EG Enterprise leverage the same customer support organization. EG Enterprise also includes phone support via the EG Help Desk. This is available as an option with the EG Express Cloud.
Cool, awesome. And then just one final question was how it's licensed, so sort of the pricing model for EG Express Cloud.
This time it's an annual subscription.
Cool. Awesome. That's pretty much all of the questions covered, unless any more come in. Let me just refresh that.
Okay.
I think that's everything.
Outstanding. So I guess we pass the ball back to Stephanie, and I don't know if she wants me to advance the slide now or.
Yeah, that'd be great. I just have a couple of things I'll put in the chat for you guys. So first of all, I just want to mention, actually, let me get this link in there for you, our events calendar. EG is one of the sponsors of one of our upcoming Excel events in CUGC Excel Midwest. It'll be at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. So if you're in the area or want to be in the area, it's definitely worth attending. It's a free event. It's a full day long. We have all of these amazing speakers, food, drink, prizes, happy hour, networking time. They're really great events if you haven't been to an Excel yet. And we'll be.
I'll be there.
Yay! I'm not coming this time, but I'll be tweeting. So yeah, check out our events calendar. Oh, sorry. Check out our events calendar. There's links to the Excel event. We also have another one coming up. Great Lakes Excel is in Milwaukee, and more coming throughout the end of the year, and we'll be planning more for next year. So definitely check those out. Our events calendar also has all of our local meetings on it. All right, you can go to the next slide. So just want to throw a couple more links for you in the chat. Here you go. We have a link to our CUGC discussion forum for this webinar. If you have more questions later after you view the recording, you want to ask them, feel free to ask them in the discussion forum on that thread, and I'll make sure that John and Nanda see them and get you some answers. Also, there's a link to a survey for the webinar. We just like to get your feedback on webinars and what we do here at CUGC. It helps us plan future webinars and just get your feedback on what kinds of webinars you'd like to see. So it takes less than a minute. It's anonymous and it's for CUGCs only. So do take a minute to fill that out. And finally, for those of you who opted in for a chance to win an Amazon gift card, the winner will be announced on Twitter and on mycugc.org. So please make sure you follow us on Twitter. That's the best way to stay up to date with everything that's going on with CUGC and all of our friends and sponsors like EG. So just follow us and you'll be in the know. And with that, I think I just want to thank everybody for being with us today. Thanks, John. Thanks, Nanda. And thanks, Jake. Thank you all for being here today. It was a great presentation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, John.
All right. Well, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. And we will see you hopefully on mycugc.org again soon, or maybe at the Midwest Excel event. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Bye.
Have a good
Thanks,
day.
Jay. Bye.